The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
All right, would like to welcome everyone back to another KevCAM night class tonight. Tonight have another new person that's going to be helping us out, Jacob. Jacob, are you with us?
Yes, sir. Howdy. How you guys doing?
All right, and then of course to make sure I'm covering everything for you guys and make sure I'm staying on track, Greg Payton is with us all the way from, where are you traveling this week again? You're in Texas, aren't you?
Today I'm coming from Arizona.
Arizona.
I'll probably be Texas next month.
So as you guys can see, we love doing our on-sites, but I do see a couple new names in here, so I'll just go through the housekeeping. Everybody is on mute just to eliminate any background noise. If you guys do have questions, there is a questions panel, and go ahead and type those in there, and Jacob will read those off when they come in. Like I said, these classes are solely dedicated for you guys. So if there's anything you want to see in there, anything you want changed, definitely let me know. And for the new guys, hop out of here. If you guys want to see a previous version of the SolidCAM University or the night class, you guys can go over to SolidCAM University and you can see all the live classes that Mark and I do. Now it's on Mondays and Fridays, along with the night classes in here too. So inside here, there is, between Greg, myself, and Mark, there's a video on how to do everything inside here. But with that being said, we'll get the ball rolling tonight with pocket recognition. So pocket recognition is extremely useful and definitely can be overlooked at time to time, but there is very powerful of what it can do in there. Basically, it will look at your entire part, and as long as it sees pockets or open pockets like we're looking at right here, it will go through and it's basically hitting the easy button for machining. So to find that, you can go to your SolidCAM 2.5D tab, click on pocket recognition, and basically it's all based off of your model. So in here, if I go to grab new geometry, all I really need to do is just click on the model, and you can see it's going through and parsing out the model right now. And what it's doing right there is it's going through and finding every single possible pocket that there is. So right now you can see, get this kind of a straight down shot here, you can see it's doing all these surfaces that are pink as well as doing these holes in here, as well as doing these smaller holes. Well, in there, we can actually sort it out. So obviously, for doing these drill holes, it's probably not the ideal thing, so we can filter those out. So let me go through and unselect all this here. And now what I can do is I can tell it I want to apply a minimum diameter filter. So right now it's set, and sorry everyone, this is on metric. Right now I can tell it that I do not want it to do anything. Get my cursor in there. That is 6.5. And if you see how I did that, is all I did is just got my cursor in here and then click on this diameter in here, and it will auto-populate for us. So now, if we go through, it should not pick up those holes for us anymore. So now you can see all these holes that were in there are no longer there. Now you guys can also come through into your selection list right here, and you can cherry pick stuff out that maybe you don't want in there. As I click on it, you'll see that it's highlighted in yellow, and it's kind of tough on this one because but there we go, we can get a side view so you can see which one it is. Another cool way of going about and selecting your pockets is by colors. So you can see on this part right here, I can do it by color region. So let's just start fresh here. And so what I want to do is hit the color checkbox. Now I can do pick from model, and then maybe I want to do all the orange faces. So I can click on the orange faces so you can see that it's got my, Greg, you know what these are called? Was it pigment colors? Maybe not. So once I have those colors in there, I can click on the model, And what it's going to do is it's only going to look at those spaces that are relative to those colors. So now you can see in there that it has picked up all those orange spaces. And I can do this with any color, you know, if I'm just looking for the green, the yellow. So that's another way of kind of going through and filtering out everything through the field there. So let's go ahead and unselect this. Now, maybe I want to do the entire part, but I don't want it to do any of the holes or through pockets. So what I can do is come over here, uncheck the through pockets, and we can turn off the color, and I can do it by solid body or faces. But now, click on there, and now we're filtering out those small holes as well as any through pockets that are going through there. So it's a real nice feature. If you have a part that has a lot of pockets along with a lot of holes, this is a great way to kind of go through and machine out your part. So now I'm happy with what we got. We're going to be machining off our entire face there. So I can go ahead and hit the green check mark there. And now I can come in and, oh, let me just go a little bit deeper in here. If I want to edit that geometry, I can come and click the modify button, and maybe I want to divide it by steps. Do I want to ignore floor fillets? You know, I can do fillet by one profile cut, exclude the top face. So if this is, if we're machining up that top face, maybe I just want to do it with a face mill versus a pocketing operation. You do have the option right there. Now you'll see right here, my through pocket is grayed out, and we'll come back to that with the through pocket ones shortly here. So now I have my geometry that was basically automatically picked. Any modifications I want to make to that. I can also turn on my fixture protection. So if we are going to be going through the part into a fixture, I can tell it to go down up to a certain distance. We can also do a rest machining in there. Now, grabbing our tool. What do we have in here? We got a 20, will work. And our levels. So right here is basically like a pocketing operation. Upper level, now it's automatically going to pick the lowest spot on there. Now, if you want to override that, you can just hit the little checkbox and that will override that. But since it's all based off of the pocket faces, it's going to find out the deepest spot. Now, if I want, I can do step downs right here. So right now we're telling it to do 10 millimeter step downs. And a lot of times I get the question asked, what is the adaptive step down? So basically what the adaptive step down is let's see, this wall is 5 millimeters. So right now, as it sits, if we come in here and pocket this out, we're telling it that we want to do a max step down of 10, but sometimes it may be 11 thou, and there might be that 1 thou left over. If we turn on the adaptive step down, what it will do is automatically insert additional steps in there to get that floor cleaned up for you. So we can definitely turn that on. And like I said, it's basically looking at how much do you want to take per pass. If we go to technology, kind of like what we covered a few weeks ago, looking at just a pocket operation is the exact same screen as what we've seen before. So do we want to do a contour? Do we want to do a hatch? Do we want to do a hatch with a finish? As well as how much do we want as overlap? So we can do percentage of tool. So right now we're telling it 50% of the tool, or you can set it up as a physical number in there. Are we doing rest machining? Do we want to leave material on the wall and the floor to do a finish pass? If we are leaving material on there, do we want to do that finish right here? We do have the option just to finish the walls only. So maybe on this particular part, let's say we have maybe a high tolerance for all these walls right here. So what we can do is come in here and we'll do a 5 thou wall offset. And what I want to do is I'm using this tool as a rougher, and then I want to come back with a finishing tool and clean up that. So I'll show you guys how to do that also. Inner contour, do we want to start from the inside or do we want to start from the outside? Corners, we can turn on our corners like we did in the pocket. If we can put a fillet in there, we can do loops as well as doing sharp. Do we want to climb cut, conventional cut, and then a couple other options right here. Along with the open pocket areas, it is going to use a profile strategy. So basically, it's going to extend past by however much we tell it. And then our link is basically how do we want to approach into the material that is not a open pocket. So with that being all set up there, we can go ahead and save and calculate. And let's go ahead and simulate this through. So you can see, start from the center and working its way out. We'll try to get this to play through for you guys as fast as possible here. And now we go in there, we are good to go. So nothing needs to be cleaned up in there. Actually, no, we should have, if we go back to my technology, we should have a wall off. Oh, I forgot this is a metric part. We'll do a wall offset of 1 millimeter. Save and calculate, simulate this now. There we go. And we can do our stock target comparison. And now we can see that we still have that material on the wall to finish up in there. So easy enough. I'll hop out of here. And I'm happy with the way this looks. And so like I said, I want to use a different tool to finish up those walls for that good surface finish. So we still have that 1 millimeter there. So what I can do is do save and copy. And I can tell it that I want to finish the wall. And we'll put a 0 in there. And I want to finish the wall only. And I can also turn on my rest material. And previous tool diameter is R20. And I'm just going to come in here and still use that same end mill, even though that I would swap it out. Now, no. So let's go to tool, select. Guess I'll have to make a copy here. Copy that tool. And we'll just say it's a 10 millimeter. Now, it's not liking something I'm doing in here. There we go. Nope, still not liking anything in here. I want to finish the wall only here. There we go. So technically there's no rest material there because the end mill that I was using was a 20 millimeter and we have a 10 millimeter radius. And so I was trying to tell it to clean up material that was already gone. But now, if I'm looking for that really good finish in here, I told it just to finish the walls with that tool, doing that same step down. And it's not recutting any of the previous material. So all it is focusing on is cleaning up those walls. So now if I come in here, we can see that we have all the material gone from all these walls right here. Okay. Now, like what I was telling you guys before, in here with those through holes is, let's go ahead and grab new geometry here. And I'm gonna tell it to grab the through pockets this time. And oh, I forgot to filter. Darn it. Sorry, guys. Unselect all. I forgot to filter out my hole here. This one, I thought was 12.5. Nope, looks like that's it. Going through and looking at the entire part file here. Oh, still got my holes in there. Grabbed the wrong one. Sorry guys, I keep grabbing the wrong chain here. I'm gonna filter out this one. There we go. All right, now we have everything that we're looking for there, as well as our through pockets. Now, the one thing I want to show here is if I do save and calculate on this, zoom out here and we'll get it rotated around. If I go underneath my fixture, I can see that that toolpath is going right down to the bottom right here, but it's not going past. So if I want, I can tell the operation that hang on one second here. Something is, we're having a SolidCAM failure going on here. Got our part. Okay, got our through pockets. Now, go to modify. Okay, I just did this right before we started the class. The through pocket, we should be able to come in here and type a negative or additional delta on those through pockets. So we can come in there and not do a additional across there. But I'll show you guys on that next part too. But normally you can come in here and type in how much more that you want it to go past. But okay. Any questions on this part file right here or on pocket recognition so far? Okay, I don't see anything coming through here. So let's hop out of this part file and let's go to our next one here. Now, one thing I did forget to mention with the pocket recognition is it does not matter on the depths, okay? So all that other part, all those were all at different depths. Same thing with this one, we have this space right here that is higher than this space. These are all different, plus we have through pocket, plus we also have this entire top right here. So, and this can be done in pocketing as well, but it definitely takes a lot more chaining to do that, where what it can do is come in here and tell it, I want to pocket out everything using my cutter. So we can go ahead and do our pocket recognition again. Grab our geometry. And I want to filter out that hole right there, which is 12.7 millimeters. So basically I'm telling it that anything that is 12.7 millimeters or smaller, it will not pick up. So it's going through the model and finding all the pocketing. Okay, so now you guys can see everything in there, but the one thing is with the open pockets, if it's over a certain size, it's not going to grab it. So what I can do is come over now and do the through pocket chain, and I can chain that pocket, and so it will grab it for us right there. So if the open pocket is, or the through pocket is larger, I don't know the exact number, but if it does not grab it, you can definitely come through and do that through pocket chain just like it is right there. Okay, so we're happy with that. We'll go ahead and accept that. And now I can go into my modified geometry. And like I said, with those through pockets, I would like to go an additional maybe 5 millimeters, do a negative 5 millimeters past. So now you can see I got the minus sign with the arrow going down. So we're telling it to do an additional 5 thou past on those through pockets. And my computer's slowing on me here. Jacob, you're bad luck to have you in here. Usually it goes through nice and smooth.
That's definitely, we can definitely blame me. It's definitely my shoddy internet down here in Kansas. I guess while this loads, this question is not exactly related to your pocket recognition, but this is a question I've always wondered. Since everything's pretty color related in this, I'm colorblind, so I'm one of the, I guess, minority here, but it happens to a lot of us guys. Is there like a colorblind feature, or am I just guessing on colors when I click stuff?
Yeah, well, you have to go colorblind off of what you're used to, though, because
okay, yeah.
The funny thing is, though, that you mentioned that, Jacob, is I would say some of our upper guys here at SolidCAM are also colorblind. I think
really?
Sean is, but unfortunately, there is no colorblind feature in there.
Yeah, that's what I figured, because I mean, I use SolidWorks in college for my degree and stuff, and so I just clicked on what I wanted, so I just never really messed with the colors, and everyone's like, why don't you do it that way?
Yep.
Well, can't. Yeah.
All right, so come on here. What I'm going to do is just reselect this here. So we want to filter out that hole diameter. Click on our model. All right. Oh, and then we got to grab that through pocket chain again. Okay.
Now, to Jacob's point, selecting colors, regardless of color blindness, there's always the pick from model feature as well. So if there is something that's showing up and something that you don't recognize as a particular color, you can always click on that model face using the define feature, and it will grab those values for you and select everything that's within that color.
Absolutely. All right, so kind of the same thing as before. We are going to do rough and finish it all out with what we have right here. We can turn on our wall finish, but since we already have a wall offset of 0, we don't need to, but maybe on that last pass, we would just like it to take maybe 5 thou. So right now, what I'm telling it is it's going to leave 5 thou on the wall to do a finish pass to clean up that 5 thou that's left over. And we can turn on our compensation for our rough passes as well as our finish passes if you guys would like that. So we can save and calculate here. And let's go ahead and see what we have. So we'll go ahead and go to our solid verify here. So there's that real thin top layer that was in there. And now, like I said, we are doing those 10 thou step downs in there, or I'm sorry, 10 millimeter step downs. And if you guys are having a lot of these pockets, and you can kind of see right now, the simulation speed's going a little bit slow, what you guys can do is come into your accuracy, and we can change that accuracy. So if I came in here and made 0.01 millimeters versus, let me pause this here, reload it again. So now you can see it's doing it much faster if I loosen up that accuracy. Now that accuracy does not have anything to do with the way your G code is or the way it's going to be on the machine. It is just a visual only for what you guys are seeing in here. Getting those side pockets there. So you can see how much toolpath is actually in here just by doing that one operation. So like I said, if you guys have a part that has a lot of pockets, this is a very helpful feature to do. Okay, so now we got that done. Let's do our stock target comparison, see if we have any material. And I do see right here, we still have some leftover material in there, as well as, looks like there's some blue over here. We still have this pocket that never got out just because that 20 millimeter tool was too big to fit in there. So what we can do is, like I said before, we can do save and copy. And we will turn it to rest. And our previous tool diameter, if you don't remember, you can always just click the previous tool diameter number and grab the tool out of the list. And now do save and calculate. Oh, I forgot to change my tool to something smaller. So we'll switch it over to a 10 millimeter. Now save and calculate. And now you can see the tool path is just coming in there and cleaning up wherever that 20 millimeter could not get into. So now if we go ahead and play this through, so you can see it came in there and cleaned up those corners right there, as well as all these little corners up here and here. And now we get our stock target comparison. We can see that we are right on that yellow, light green area, so we know that we're good in there. Now, we did not hit this pocket again over here. Must be, let me hop out of here real quick. And I really have no way to measure. Yeah, it's giving me an arc length. So one cool thing you guys can do is turn on your visual tool. And if I come out, boy, I'm just not winning today. Can't get my tool to pop out for us. Nope, I just can't get that thing to show it today. So what I'm guessing is happening is that 10 millimeter tool is still too small to try to fit in there. The only other thing I can think of is if we come in here, it's saying that I used that same chain. Okay, so what happened is it didn't grab that chain for us. So that's one area. If we come back and grab new geometry here, and we'll do our and we'll also do our through pockets, get that guy as well as that guy. 5 down. And now we can see that tool's coming in there. So what I'll do is I'll come back to this one up here, and I'll switch this from faces 1 to faces 2. So now let's go ahead and play this all the way through now.
Now, Kevin, while this is playing through, what packages can people expect to find this functionality?
Good question. All right, so to get this functionality, what you guys will need is 2D Pro or higher. If you guys are getting 2D standard, you will not get any of the recognition toolpaths that you're seeing up on top right here, as well as iMachining. So as long as you guys have 2D Pro or higher, you will get the additional bells and whistles, like the chamfer recognition, hole wizard recognition, pocket recognition, and drill recognition. So yeah, for those that you guys that are not seeing this up on top, and if I just go ahead and hop out of here. So if all these are grayed out right here, and this is something that you would like to add in there, definitely contact your local reseller or shoot me an email, and we can get those added in there for you as well. So, but I'm pretty sure that majority of the people in here have 2D Pro or higher. But if you guys don't, and you don't have this, you guys all should have my email address, as well as for everyone that's watching on YouTube, my email address is below too, so you can contact me about that as well. So, all right, Greg, am I missing anything or that we should be showing these guys?
No, I think that's pretty good for pocket recognition. I guess it should be said that there is similar functionality to what you see in pocket recognition in some of the more higher end packages.
Yes.
Things like 3D iMachining or the HSM horizontal surfaces, which are other powerful tools that can be used in conjunction with pocket recognition or in place of pocket recognition. And I know you're going to cover those at a later date.
Yeah.
But I guess just to highlight that there are multiple ways that we can use feature-based geometry and toolpath to remove this material.
Yeah, a great point. So with kind of what Greg is saying there is we can come in here and use the horizontal machining in HSM. We can also use in here, which is called prismatic part machining, that works very similar to what you're doing there, but along with, like what Greg was saying, these more advanced toolpaths, you guys will have more options in there. So maybe you guys want to section off certain areas, maybe a slower feed rate in some areas, stuff like that. You will get more advanced options for that. And like Greg said, we will be covering those in a later class as well. So, because to be honest with you guys, if I had the 3D package in here, I would probably come in here and tackle this with 3D iMachining first, just because it's going to find all of my material there for me, so I don't really have to click on any faces. Plus, I don't have to figure out a feed rate or a spindle RPM or anything like that, which is nice. And then I can come back and do, like Greg was saying, the HSM prismatic or the prismatic part machining to finish up those walls and floors to get that really nice looking finish in there as well. So, but like I said, we'll be covering that at a later date too. But definitely, I think what Greg is getting at, there's more than one way to skin a cat, is what they say, right?
Oh, absolutely. Yes, tons of flexibility here.
Yeah. But any questions from anyone before we wrap this up for tonight? Well, I think we wowed them or put them to sleep, one of the two. But well,
Yeah, don't be shy to send them in. I'm pretty good at reading, guys. I'll gladly read it off here.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't see anything coming through, so I guess we'll wrap it up with that. Next week, we will not be doing a night class just because of the holiday coming up. But for those of you guys that are looking, if you guys go to our SolidCAM website, make sure you get that American flag up there and you're looking to sign up for the next class, come down to webinars, click on KevCAM night class. And tomorrow I'll have the additional ones that you guys can sign up for in here, and definitely come check those out as well. And like I said before, if you guys do have ideas, definitely send those over to me via email. If you guys send those over, we'll send some SolidCAM swag your way as a thank you. But like I said, anything going forward, just let us know how we can help you out. Oh, we did have one come through here.
Yeah. Ruben came through with a question at the end. Got it in just under the wire.
Yeah. Let's see. Hang on, I got to expand out my questions here.
He's asking if pocket recognition works on cylindrical models for fourth axis toolpath.
So when it comes to a fourth axis toolpath, as well as cylinders and stuff like that, instead of doing a pocket recognition that way, what we would want to do is use what's called a wrap, because it is on a fourth axis. And inside of the pocket recognition, we don't have that option to turn on wrap. So you can see right here when I go to grab my geometry, I cannot tell it if it's on a wrap surface. Now, Greg, you may have to correct me if I'm wrong here, but we may be able to do something with the fourth axis right here, but it's not, one thing, it's not going to recognize the pockets just because it's not on a flat planer. So if you guys are looking to do pockets on a cylinder or round surface like that, then like I said, I would definitely use just a regular pocketing operation or iMachining, because in there you will get, let's just do it real quick. If I go into a pocket, go to grab new geometry, I would always want to turn on my wrapped function to let it know that it's wrapping around a cylinder. So
right, that's if you're selecting from the 3D model itself. So like Kevin's saying, pocket recognition isn't going to grab anything that has any variation in the Z level as defined by the coordinate system that you initially select. So if you do have geometries that are like 2D geometries that you used to create a wrapped cut feature within SolidWorks, you could use those same geometries and use the fourth axis command that Kevin was specifying. And if you look at some of the, like the pocketing night class from a few weeks ago, you can select all of that 2D geometry using the multi-select, or bring up the geometry window again, Kevin.
Oh, the multi-chain.
Yeah, multi-chain add, and then grabbing that entire sketch. And as long as that sketch had multiple chains that represented those wrapped pockets that were on a consistent diameter level for the depth of the pocket, then you would be able to grab all those chains and then apply the different options within the fourth axis toolpath under the motion control page and specify that geometry that way for fourth axis toolpaths.
Yep, absolutely. Great question, Ruben. But if you, I think we have one here. If we just type in,
that feels like a Mark Pimentel SolidCAM
Yep.
live. That way we can put it on there and he can actually show it. That way everybody has a good understanding of what's going on.
Yeah, and definitely if
I
you
feel
guys,
like my explanation's not doing it justice.
and if you guys want just like a quick little walkthrough video of how to do kind of what Greg was talking about, and myself. There's 2 videos right here that are kind of covering the same thing, as well as Mark and I did a SolidCAM live class with wrap engraving around a cylinder also. So definitely some content in there for you as well. So check that out. But with that being said, we'll wrap it up for tonight, and we will talk to you guys not next Tuesday night, but the Tuesday night after the holiday, and we will see you guys then.
Now, Kevin, do you have a spoiler for our listeners for what the next class might entail?
Oh.
Or are you going to make everybody spin
sorry,
the
guys.
refresh button on their web browser?
Yep, you guys are you're just gonna have to wait on the edge of your seats for tomorrow when I get it all put together. But yep, definitely come check out the website tomorrow. We'll just say tomorrow afternoon we'll have it updated for everyone, and there's so you guys signing up. And Jake, if you want to sign up too, I'll let you sign up again.
Perfect. Awesome. Hope I won't be a bad luck charm next time.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, have a great rest of your evening, and we will talk to you guys in 2 weeks.
Right. Good night, everybody.
See you guys.
See you.